What's up, guys? Look at that. It's me. Yay, it's me. It is alive again. That's the beauty of live TV and streaming and content, right? You never know what is going to happen. But for the second time in a month, I don't know, Kev has ditched me. So it's just me tonight. And I apologize. I'm so sorry, guys. You have to listen to me. But that's also, I assume so, Mike. I think he is. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I was texting him during the show and he was responding. And then I texted him that thing that I said in the Discord. Like, I wonder how Matt would have curated the set list differently. And then I never heard back from him. And then I was like, he never doesn't respond. And I can't remember what time that was. But then I was like, well, whatever. I'm sure he's, whatever. But then I got in here and he's always in here waiting for me. No. He wasn't here. And when he's not here, that's when I start to get worried. And then I just watched the clock go down and then realized I needed to make the set lists and figure out how to do the volume stream at the same time. So anyway, sorry guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you waiting. And yeah, it's just me. So I'm going to lean on the chat. If you guys want to bring up comments and talk, and same thing with the volume chat, I can point over here because it's on my other monitor, but I'm paying attention to you guys too. I got the chat from the live stream up on the corner over here, right there, right there. So you guys can see it on volume. So respond to that. Yeah. And feel free, fire your opinions off. Not at me, but what you thought about the show. Cause you can rage on my opinions all you want, but I'm more curious about what you guys thought about the show and everything going down. And actually the whole weekend, we can kind of rap about that too. Oh, here he is. Look at it. He made it. He woke up. He's back.
I wasn't asleep. The fucking computer died, dude.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a fucking blanket because the air conditioner is cold.
Here, wait.
Sorry about that, dude. How long were you on? No, 2 minutes. All right. I'm sorry.
I just came on. And I was like riffing, talking shit about you. So you haven't missed anything.
I fucking man, fuck that, dude. This is the second time in the fucking past week that shit did that to me. Anyway, what's up?
What's up? Nothing. I got the set list done, and I literally was just welcoming anybody in. Okay, you look hilarious. It looks like you're wearing like a robe.
I'm Bobby. I'm my Bobby phase. What did they do?
I wish you had the hat. That's all you're missing. That's all you're missing.
We don't have the set list in.
Yeah, it's in. It's up there. It's in the banners. I did them all.
Okay, cool. All right.
Here's Trey's. See, we can bring up Trey's. I even did Trey's. See, I did it all, man. I was working my ass off.
Trey in there. I put Trey and one in there. My bad, guys.
Oh, all right. Oh, I see you did. Oh, yeah, you did. That's all right. It's funny. We both put ER though for everything's right. That's hilarious. Oh, I spelled out what's going through your mind and you abbreviated it. Okay, I got it. So I got it on volume, dude. Aren't you impressed? I got volume going too.
I got we got 8 of 14 songs out of this set were fish tunes.
I know.
So
you said 3 out of 5. So
yeah, we were damn close. Damn close.
Good set though. Not as good as Sturgill. I still think Sturgill was the best opener of the weekend. Personally, that's just my opinion. I really like what he did yesterday, and like I said earlier, I listened to it again today and was still blown away by it while I was doing work around the house. Phenomenal set. But Trey was good. Trey really, I feel like, set kind of the tone for the whole night. Like it just sort of felt that way to me. And him we'll get to it, but him opening with Moma. It was very close to the same set he played in LA. If you look at the set list from the other night in LA, there was a lot of repeats, like a lot. So, which is fine with Trey Band. I think, whatever. I think it probably felt good to play those one night before coming out in front of all those people and playing these songs.
We need to normalize more playing songs night to night.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's good that he had the opening show in LA to kind of as a warm up instead of coming out with the band cold and doing, that was a big crowd. That's obviously probably the biggest crowd that band is played in front of, not Fish, but like Trey Band is played in front of. So,
yeah, 2 instrumentals in the opening that are great. Mission in the Rain was just really a master stroke by him.
It was brilliant. Like I could have, I'll nitpick it and say like I would have liked to. Like for me, Trey could really do like a Ruben and Charisse or even a Run for the Roses or so Trey songs almost. You know what I mean? I feel like so he could put any of those in his own rotation and play them. I don't think he would, but he totally could. But Mission in the Rain was a great call. I love that he did that. Alive Again right before that was awesome too. I know we talked about that before. I actually, that is one of my more likable Trey songs because I'm not a huge Trey Band fan, but yeah. Going Through Your Mind was awesome. I do want to shout out Dez wrong because Dez was fucking going tonight. And that bass, I said it earlier. I was like, man, I noticed him more tonight in a couple songs than I noticed Mike all tour. Not that I didn't notice Mike. Mike was doing some really cool shit with what he was doing on tour, but Dez just played it like straight up forward, and it sounded great. Like there was a few times tonight where I was like, damn, Dez is on fire. So, yeah, Dez was incredible the whole night. I agree, Mike. Like he got the MVP star that Trey Band said. I thought he was fuego tonight. So
He
very
was
cool.
way good. Now, I mentioned this at halftime, but something out there for all you people to think about. What if Shine was the song and not ER for Fish? I really like Shine. I think that's got a great lyric, and it's a very cool song, to say the least. I'm glad that it's gotten love 2 nights in a row. I don't know how often they play that, but I don't feel like that's one you see pop up much.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really like their version of What's Going Through Your Mind. I thought that was really, it was one of those, it was kind of like Wolfman's too, where it's the same, but different, because you have the horns and you have different arrangements and things like that. And it's cool to hear it that way because it's not that you like it better. It's just a cool other way to appreciate that song because it's a different jam than you get with like what we got all summer in the Fish jams. So it was cool. It was really cool. So, dude, Dez was so in the pocket. It was incredible. Like Andrew, yes, it was amazing. All-star. So yeah, I don't know. Trey's set was great. Like I said, I feel like it set the tone. Trey was excited to be out there. You could tell. It felt like 50 all over again, like being him out there and just smiling away and enjoying playing with the boys again. So that was really cool. Yeah, let's get into the Dead show. Kev, what do you think?
I'm a fan. I think they got better and better as we went through the weekend there. Really one really bad set to open the whole weekend. They just sounded off. We talked about the vampire problem, but I don't think they had that issue again. This might have been the shortest because they started 15 minutes later than the other nights. I think 20 minutes later than last night, but maybe the strongest first set out of the 3.
Yeah. There was my good times that I kind of was expecting earlier in the weekend. Got it tonight. Yeah, it was a good, again, like I don't know. We can go back and take a little bit bigger look at it, but my initial reaction is the set list this weekend. The Sphere, they got away with a lot at the Sphere, right? Because they could do a lot of different things with those set lists, and it was fun the way they had it around. This was the first time since I feel like Matt left that they had to curate a set list specifically around, you know what I mean? And I just feel like it fell flat. Like I think there were some songs missing that should have been played. I think there were some additions in there that were kind of weird. And I think some of the placements were kind of off and strange. And I don't know how much that was because of Bobby or placating to certain things or what.
Right.
But I would say all in all, looking at the set lists, everything was a little bit off with those this weekend as far as I thought. I did like this one a lot though. Good Times was a great opener. China Rider. We knew one of those would be in the first set. Scarlet Fire, China Rider. Trey getting Scarlet Fire made sense to put it in the second set. So yes, so China Rider being there, it even could have opened the show and I would have been fine with that and then got into something. But I love this run of China Rider TLEO. It was awesome.
Almost pushed 20 minutes with the China Rider. They really leaned into it. That Rider, I mean, most of the bulk of that was in Rider, but Mayer was fantastic. I think, maybe that works best with Mayer as the cowboy tunes. Because when we get to Cumberland, again, he was on fire in the second set.
Oh, yeah, completely. And I actually feel like Rider was the best I heard Bobby sing all weekend. I honestly thought he sounded great singing that song. That was the only song, honest to God, that I didn't feel like he had a problem with or like had a weird voical thing on him. It was the one song I was like, oh my God, Bobby sounds like Bobby in this song. Like, I don't know if it was like one of those things where the reflex just kicked in. He's like, oh, I remember this one, like how to sing this one perfectly. It was just, because even doing Hell in a Bucket later, which is his song, was a little messy. Like it was just yeah. So this was really great to hear him nail the rider, and that transition into it was a great jam. I thought that China was a little messy to start and get through, but once they cleared it and got into the jam, and Clemente and Mayer sort of like did their thing, it really opened up, and yeah, and that rider was great. It was a rough
they love
weekend
each
for Valley.
other. They chose the slow version without the extra lyrics. I feel like this is my only song tonight. I'm like, you could have picked something else.
I was surprised we got it. I love TLEO. It's one of my favorite all-time songs. We've talked about it a lot, how the pre-slowdown version is so much better. Like I like it so much more when it was fast, and that they brought that back. It was so nice. This was, yeah, I was a little like, oh, I forgot about TLEO, and this is a weird place for it and a weird slowdown version of it, and it's just weird. I should have happened earlier in the weekend. Again, the set list thing is just kind of in my brain now, but yeah, because then jumping right into Shakedown after that, again, you knew this first set was kind of that overflow, right? Like, here's everything we haven't done yet. We know we got to play these. And again, I feel like you could have kind of meshed these in a different order that made a little bit more sense, but you know.
I just don't believe it. If you ask me, I'd say Love is dumb as well as blind. So Shakedown with the vocal stylings of Jeff Chimente there on the break it down part. Man, I mean, how could you not do Shakedown? They had the Shakedown people paid thousands of bucks to be on, so you got to throw them a bone. I liked it. It was fat. It was huge. It had a good jam in it. You know,
it had a good jam in it. It did have a good jam in it. It was fun. It was fun. It's one of those songs that now that it's so slow, it's like the get down is a little like, you know, it's like
break a hip.
Exactly.
You can't get back up.
Can't get back up. Like, but this could have opened the show too, right? And kind of set that tone for the show and like kicked us in that way and gone like Shakedown, China Rider. You know, I don't know. Anyway, it was fun though. I'm glad we got it. And going into the deal, I loved that though. I like closing.
Not something I even thought about. Deal didn't even cross my mind.
Really?
Neither did Bucket is a possibility. Yeah,
Bucket did not. I mean, I would have thought Looks Like Rain over Bucket for sure. I'm so crazy that it's like, yeah.
Deal
with it. Deal.
So let's talk a little bit before we get into the second set and the housekeeping about. I mean, what's your most glaring omission?
I mean, Dark Star.
Yeah, I was going to say other one too.
Dark Star, other one. Yeah.
Stella. I'm amazed that we got the Standing on the Moon when we get to it instead of the Stella.
Yeah, almost. Stella and Sugaree I thought could have switched too. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of an odd one. And he's gone. I thought maybe we'd get this weekend too, just kind of like as a nod to everything. And yeah, Sailor Saint. I know Kev would like the Sailor Saint because I know he likes that one. Yeah, definitely the other one.
Dude, you're glad that I checked, aren't you?
I don't know.
You skipped something in the set list.
I was doing it on the fly, trying to get everything done. My timer was literally out when I was trying to do that.
And the man's name has an E on the end.
Oh, I kind of copied the one you wrote, but I shouldn't have done that either because you never spell anything or say anything right.
I don't.
But
no, I know.
Johnny Jumping during Deal will never get old. Johnny Jumping anytime will never get old. And smiling like this way he was reacting with Trey out there, I thought was so awesome too. Like that was just amazing. It was so good.
It was fantastic. All right, make sure you like and subscribe. Tomorrow morning, if you're a member, we got we're moving the Monday morning member thing to 10 o'clock tomorrow instead of 9 because I'm gonna have a special guest tomorrow coming on and talking Lollapalooza and all kinds of other music stuff that we don't normally talk about. Yes,
I'm the special guest.
Tiberius will be joining me. Fantastic. We also have something about Beanstalk coming out tomorrow and Wednesday. Hopefully we're going to get some special guests on. We're going to go back through a lot of this and get some people who were there. We want to hear some actual reaction from the ground. If you're watching later, like, subscribe, comment, but really go over to Volume and follow us there. Think about becoming All Access. All right. Wow. We knew that Trey was coming out, right? We knew that that was going to happen. And I was all on board for what if can I edit this? I'm going to hide it and edit it because something's bothering me.
Just keep editing it.
Come out and just fantastic. Yeah, because I had it different.
I liked Johnny introducing Trey and just saying Trey. Like it was very funny, like Prince, or like it was very funny. It was just like Trey, like everybody knows Trey.
Let's go with it looking like this.
Okay, much better.
Oh no, yeah, that's where we're going. All right, my question to Scott Marks, if he's watching, is: do I have to donate $20 or $30 for Trey doing 30 minutes with Dead and Company? Does that rise to the level of a 20-minute Fish Mockingbird donation? Or, oh my God, if you want to take your band Dead and Company, which is a really good band, to that next level, and you want to show the world that, yes, Billy Strings nailed Wharf Rat, yes, Sturgill Simpson nailed Morning Dew, but my name's Trey. And the torch, it's in my back pocket still.
Well, I mean, he has a huge advantage, right? Because of 50 and how much he did and playing with them already and knowing pretty much you know what I mean? Like the speed and like all of that. He pretty much has that. The thing I will say is I feel like and I think someone mentioned this in the chat and I couldn't agree more. He played with them. And it's not that Sturgill and Billy they just added their own thing to those songs as the guest instead of playing with Dead and Co. as Dead and Co. Like they kind of came in and were like, I'm Sturgill, I'm Billy, I'm going to play Wharf Rat with you guys, but my kind of version of it. Trey played their version of those songs with them. You know what I mean? Like it was a different, and it really worked. I mean, Scarlet was beautiful. I'm so glad Trey sang it. Like it was wonderful. That jam though, holy moly. Like that Scarlet jam, it ended weird. It ended very much like almost like a Fish jam though, where like it just sort of like stops and then like, oh, now we got to start up Fire. Like it was really, instead of like going into it how it always has the good.
Well, they ended Scarlet. They don't normally end Scarlet. It goes into Fire, and the little Scarlet pieces
at the end of Fire, right? Like you get the right at that. So, but they came back into it and ended it, which was weird. And then it felt almost fishy. I know someone in the Discord commented and they were like, "Trey's doing everything he can not to drop into Drift while you're sleeping right now," and I thought that was hilarious because that's so true. Like I hate to say it, but it's so true. But that Rider or that Fire also was just fire. Like I like how everybody got a piece of the song. It was kind of like doing the Wait, how they kind of like passed it around. Mickey got his rap, both verses in.
Don't people on Mickey for rapping because those lyrics are really cool. Drowning hot oil can even feel cold. It's fantastic.
Hey, I said it too on the thing. He sounded better than Bobby. Mickey sounded way better than Bobby did all weekend. So I mean, you could have had Mickey sing 4 or 5 songs, and I wouldn't have been complaining at that point. Like honestly,
Remain. Yeah, why didn't they ever play the Strange Remain from the other ones?
Right?
You know, Scarlet and Fire are some of the earliest tunes that Fish covered. They stopped in like 85. There was a whole incident with some guy yelling Jerry at Trey that they quit playing Fish, that the Fish quit playing Grateful Dead songs after that. But I feel like Trey was tromping at the bit for the past 40 years in order to have this moment tonight, really. I mean,
I know, and getting to Crush Mission in the Rain and then come on for a Scarlet Fire jam was fantastic. I mean, it's a beautiful weekend. I'm sure it's everything he wanted out of it. And watching him when they did that Fire jam, okay, I'm gonna complain about the production here in a second, but when they did that Fire jam and they kind of did the little triangle with Bobby in the middle and Trey and Johnny, and they both kind of were close, like Trey and Johnny were looking at each other with Bobby in the middle, and then Johnny did back up a little bit and let them two kind of go. But when they're in the middle, the thing is they didn't have any camera people running any cameras anywhere. It was all robotics.
On that track, they had the track that looked
everything
like
was on a track or its own up into remote stuff. So the problem was there was nobody there to get in position to shoot that shot and see the three of them playing right in front of you. So like you got this weird over the shoulder, then you got this other weird over the shoulder, and then you got this weird shot of like John at the edge of the screen. With it was so weird.
Was that IMAX? Was that because they were doing IMAX cameras?
No, I get, yeah, probably, but it's because they had no cameraman. Like everything was robotic, so it ruined like, and that was what we complained about a few times. Was like there was some weird camera angles out there, and I swear to God, if I saw that shot of the park one more time tonight, like it was the go-to cutaway shot. I was like, why do we keep showing the crowd in the dark? I don't care. Right. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to go off on a rant. When the production sucks, it really pisses me off.
Right.
What?
I want to see the sphere screens. I wanted the I wanted the CK5 cam.
I know. It was all the cameramen have been deported. Yeah, something like that. Seriously, Bruce. It was awful. Like after the first night, I noticed I was like, there's no cameraman. It's all robotic cameras, and that's why we're not getting the good shots used, like the movement and like moving into position. Anyway.
Right. We got the Broken Arrow. We called that there was going to be another fill tune. You know, 3 nights, 3 fill tunes, 3 Graham. He came out, only played that, didn't sing it. It was a little strange to me. I mean, solid, good for Mayor for adopting that one.
I think, and Hazard mentioned this in the Discord, so I got to give him props. But it fits Mayer's voice, like that's his, like it works for him. So I don't know. I think somebody said Graham played it one of the nights at his thing and sang it, so maybe he didn't want to sing it again, or like I don't know what the discussion was around that, but I thought Mayer sounded really good in it. It's one of those better songs for him for sure. So, yeah,
right. Strange choice, but I liked it.
Yeah. I agree, Brandon. Awful crew from the sound to the cam. And I looked them up afterwards, and it's this company called 7 Cinematics. And there's not a lot of
that's owned by Pete Shapiro, maybe.
I don't know, but when you go to their like about page, they're all the top 3 dudes are all photoed with their Emmy awards, which right there tells me something that like we're jonesing to show you our awards. So anyway, I don't know. I can't find a lot on them. I just started looking them up, but yeah, it was very odd. So
I don't know what I did with my award. I used to have it behind me.
Your award. I love Broken Arrow though. I thought it was great. Having Graham come back on was cool. I like how much he played with them this weekend. That was a really fun sort of thing. And I don't know if you guys saw it intermission, but they interviewed Kreutzmann's Justin Kreutzmann at intermission, which I thought was cool too. So kind of like connecting the dots in a way without those guys being there and stuff. So that was cool.
They got all the kids together. Where was Brent's kid? He had a daughter, didn't he? I hope she's still alive.
I don't know. And all Bobby's kids. Where's Monet? Isn't that her name?
Right. And where's the one he had with Barlow's wife?
Right. So Hell in a Bucket. Odd choice, I thought.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's where I was going earlier, that it was an odd choice. And,
odd choice. I know you love that song.
A little slow. You don't get the vocal thing at the end, but it was like Bobby's last hurrah. He likes the bikers.
It's true. I still though, to not get a Looks Like Rain or a Saint. I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird. It was a weird call. That was one of those like,
okay. Let It Grow.
Yeah. A Cassidy.
Like Cassidy. Where was the Cassidy? Right. Where was the Cassidy? I thought that was a lock.
For sure. I know. A lot of, like I said, a lot of issues with the set list this way. A lot of shit. So Hell in a Bucket was interesting though. I thought it wasn't Bob's greatest effort again with the weekend, but whatever. He got through it. And then we got what I was waiting for all weekend, which I really wanted to hear. Kind of figured it would be What Led Us Into Drums, because it's kind of taken that spot a few times, and it delivered. I mean, again, you got Johnny and Clemente doing their thing, just going, and Graham came back out. So you had like the double bass.
That's why I put 3 stars, because it was 2 bass players. The first time all weekend that they were both on stage, which I was waiting for. I was like, and it set me up to think, hey, they're going to do a Dark Star with 2 bass players. This is going to be cool. They did not. The Cumberland Jam was awesome, though. The closest we got to Dark Star, I feel like, was last night's Uncle John's Band Jam. That was the closest we got to it. Song.
No Birdsong. Yeah, I know.
Speaking
That was
of
the
Dark
closest we
Star
got to
adjacent, I mean,
any sort of Dark Star jam was in that Uncle John's Band breakdown last night. But yeah, Cumberland was an awesome ripper though. I mean, Clemente banging away on those keys, the double basses going, just setting that groove, and it was fun. I mean, that was fun. That's kind of like what you wanted out of this show.
Right.
Like that was a lot of fun. I loved it. And then led into drums and space again.
Short,
drums was fun.
Really
Slow.
short, both of them. They knew that they wanted.
Yeah,
they had
had
songs to play.
They had to be. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Standing on the Moon. I had a feeling it was going to happen, but I thought for sure it was going to have this guy named Pistachio out there, and it did not happen.
It did not happen. He did his Scarlet Fire. He didn't need to come back and do Standing on the Moon. I'm glad he did those.
Man. Where was that? I don't know, man. Stella.
I know. I will say
just about a guitar. Stella might be the Grateful Dead's most affecting ballad. It might be Hunter's best lyric in that vein, and Garcia so carried it through in the performance that I don't know. Maybe you don't want to touch it. Maybe Bobby knows his limits.
Joe, we did talk about Violi at the intermission with the members and brought that up, and somebody had suggested, saying that, and we kind of knew that wasn't going to get played tonight, and that's a criminal thing too. I feel like that's one of my favorites, though I'm not surprised. Ripple, Ripple too. Ripple.
They had 3 sets worth of good music.
Yeah, there's a full show still. There's a full show still of good music that you could put together. Right. So
Vermi, we Ripple during the set break, they were, or before the show started, they had a hot mic on the Nugs thing, and the guy said, "That's Bobby's guitar, but we aren't probably going to use it tonight." So at that point, I was like, "Yeah, Ripple's off the table. That didn't happen." So
no Samson, and I mean missing Samson. That's always. But that it makes sense missing Samson because Samson always set up a fire night. Like that was always something that set up a fire second set. And we never really got that fire second set.
We did lose 15 minutes in the first set. Maybe it was going to be a Samson to close the set or something, and they just had wrap.
Is that Trey's fault? Is that Trey's fault for going long? Did Trey screw? Was that the problem? Trey's ghost?
Well, no, Trey started 15 minutes early and only went 3 minutes long. He played 93 minutes, but
but
started 15 minutes early.
Sturgill, because he started 15 minutes early. Because
he started at 4:15 instead of 4:30.
Yeah. So, but when he went into Ghost, it was funny because he did the thing he did like in the fish show, like he thanked everybody and then went into another song. Like it felt like he was gonna walk off the stage after that, and then he's like looking around. He's like, "All right, let's jump into Ghost," and you're like, "Oh, you can get a 5-minute Ghost in, sweet." And then he played it for like 10 minutes, and you're like, "Isn't he going over here? Like, what?" Or did they tell him like, "Go ahead and go over"? Like, we don't need all the time tonight. It was funny. Like, Minglewood was missing. Yeah, good call. There's a lot that was missing. I think like I said, you could do a whole show.
No Dylan tune. Well, they did Knockin', but no Bobby Dylan tune. No Memphis. No
Masterpiece. Yeah, I know. Standing on the Moon. I'll say this. I feel like we talked about, how you feel about Terrapin and kind of like what I mentioned last night. Like, I feel that way about Standing on the Moon. It's such a Jerry tearjerker. Like, I mean, I bawled my eyes out in Vegas to this song one year, with Jerry singing it, just like crying, like listening to him sing it. So it's in great. So like, it's one thing to have Bobby sing it, but it's another thing to have Bobby sing it like he sang it tonight. And it's just, you're like, just get over it. Like, just get over it without fucking up too bad, please. And it just, I don't know. Not great for me personally.
I like 2 of the last 3 songs. Sugaree just seemed like, I don't know.
Ripped.
Is a first set song. It did rip. And if we get April Rickle on Wednesday, that's his favorite song. It's one of his favorite tunes. So if Mayer doing it, he loves that Mayer does it. But good for them. I mean, Mayer needed another tune. What else were we getting there from him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was something, but I thought it was kind of I was kind of shocked that was what we went into there, but he ripped it. I was really like the jam in there. I was like, okay, well, this is Mayer. And again, Clemente and him going off together on a little walk down the path was awesome. And
again, the country kind of cowboy vibe,
Yeah.
He did have the bolo one. Did we mention that?
No, we
Did
didn't, but
everyone
he
notice
did.
the
That was a
tie?
nice little nod. And it's like, what was it? It's how much was that jacket that you sent
Oh,
me? Or
6,000.
wearing a $6,000 jacket on stage.
Dude, I could feed my kid for a whole year on that. A whole year I could eat. Me and her for a whole year. Anyway,
It did rip, Mike. Sugaree
I
ripped.
love Sugar Magnolia. I think that she is one of the best girls in the whole lexicon of dead tunes. And you got to do a Sugar Magnolia. It's summer.
I know. You have to. I wish we would have gotten Friday to get it out of the way, but yeah. Yeah.
And it always rocks. It always rocks. And then Touch of Grey is probably a really master stroke on whoever did the set list instead of, like we said, doing Ripple. It was the tune that launched 1,000 Deadhead journeys in the mid 80s, in a one. I mean, the Dead would not have turned into what they did without Touch of Grey. They still would have been big. They still would have been, they played in RFK in 86, the year before it came out, but they wouldn't have had that sustained explosion that they had that ended up with Gate Crashers and everything else by 95.
Well, you could also say, Kev, that's what led to this. Like, without that, the need for like going on and continuing and bringing this all back around and everything probably isn't there either, because this opened them up to a whole other ginormous business and everything side of things with that song. So yeah, I mean, I think it was very appropriate to put there. It could have gone anywhere though. You could have opened the show tonight, in one of those spots. It could have, you knew it had to be played, but it was nice getting it there as sort of the uplifting way to
We will survive.
Right.
It's the perfect thing to leave people. It isn't everything right. It's we will survive.
Right. And you're not leaving them with sort of any, like we talk about the slow songs, whatever. And granted, Dead slow songs are different than Fish slow songs, but it leaves you on the high. It leaves you going out, skipping and being like, woo, like we will get by.
Right. So as much as we made fun in the beginning of cash grab, yada, yada, what's it going to be? And as rough as things looked coming in after the first night, with the first set, the second set, they did pick up on a little. I think it turned out to be a fantastic weekend. I was unsure about the opening bands, what that would all pan out, but every one of the opening bands was fantastic. Every one of the sit-ins were probably the highlight of that night. So good for them. I think they did everything right. Let's hope we get a 70.
I think, yeah, so we get a 70, but like one of them or like at least Graham, right? Like that's it. Yeah, I think there was I think the sit-ins were the highlights. I agree with you. I think they're their own highlights. I think the Cumberland tonight with the, getting the Cumberlingus, as I like to say, was awesome because I love that song and what they do with it. I appreciate so much because they really made that their own. We talk about the songs that they made their own, So I'm glad we got that in tonight. Because we even talked and you thought at intermission it wasn't coming, and I kind of agreed with you. I was like, I don't know where it's going to fit tonight because you still got to get Dark Star in there somewhere, and that should be drums, but we didn't get it, so it made sense to at least put that one there. But yeah, overall, I mean, I would like to hear Boots on the Ground and hear how it was there and how everything was. I know the food, everyone's posted about how expensive food and drinks were. Yeah, of course, it's a festival, so I'm not surprised at that. But I'm just wondering how the logistics worked out, how the crowds were, all that kind of stuff.
25 for chicky tenders, and then
30 for a glass of wine, man. 30 for some cab. Crazy.
But it was a double.
But I think overall, I think it was a success. I think overall it was definitely a success. It was a fun celebration. They performed. I mean, I don't know how much longer they got in the tank or if this is the last time we're going to see them. You know what I mean?
I think it might be.
I think it might be if things seem the way they are, for sure. But it was nice. It was
the
nice.
The only place you'll see him again is the Sphere.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe the Sphere. I think the Sphere is very forgiving. I didn't think that would before, but I think it's very forgiving with a lot of things for them. So maybe they could, do it again. But I don't know how much more Bobby's got in the tank, man. It's just maybe he does. Maybe it was just one of those things. But
we'll have to look before tomorrow morning on the
Sphere with AI, exactly.
about what Bobby's upcoming schedule looks like. Maybe we could try to pontificate a little bit.
No, Joe, they did play. They played Shakedown in the first set tonight.
Yeah.
Third song, fourth song in the first set tonight. They did play Shakedown.
Fourth song, yeah.
Friend of the Devil, Let It Grow. He's gone. I know, man. There's Brandon. There's so many things that we could say. Again, full show. So, but they did good for what they had. They did good. Love seeing the music. Love hearing the music. Love seeing Johnny and Clemente play together. O'Teal knocked out of the park as always. So
I want the core 4 to go out with special guest Trey Anastasio.
Yes. I want more Trey and Mayer playing together because I'm sorry, like if you go back and watch that.
Well, Johnny was afraid to look Trey right in the eyes.
Well, he was, but then he started. But he had the biggest smile on his face when Trey was doing that fire jam and like listening to him, and just like you could. It was so cool to see the two of them who have played so much with these and know this music so much. Nice, that's awesome. Mix sounded good. I'm glad to hear the mix sounded good there. Cool. How I'm curious. Was it the same? Well, we'll find out. But yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. I'm glad it was cool. Glad it worked.
If it was the same, were you going to ask her if it was the same mix since she was there and we were here?
I was going to say the cameras. Like, I just want to know. I'm assuming it's the same feed that you were getting. I was just wondering how it looked on the IMAX screen compared to like what we were seeing. But yeah, they were trying to figure out the lead. It was just hilarious to watch them though, and John like smiling and watching Trey was just such a treat. And yeah, it was
Bobby in between Trey and John. You could see his brain just melting away what was left of it.
I think we remember Trey though. I think Trey, what was going through his mind was like, wow, this is so much slower than it was 10 years ago. Holy crap. He's like, man, I can't let Fish get this slow. That was funny. Hopefully. That was great. Good stuff though. Right. I mean, I'd like to actually see Mayer, Trey, and Sturgill play together. That would be awesome.
All right, take us out.
Guys, thanks a lot. This was a lot of fun. Actually, this is kind of the last for a while until we do the second half of Fish Tour, summer tour. So
we got lots of stuff coming up.
We got a bunch of stuff coming up before then. We're bringing back What Club on the 19th. We got Live with some special guests. We're over on Volume, so get your asses over there for some special shit coming down. This was fun, though, Kev. This was a lot of fun. This was a war of attrition, my friend. Like, it was a long way. We did good, though. It was a lot of music and a lot of fun, and we'll talk tomorrow about a few other things in the morning, and then we'll have everybody on Wednesday and talk some more music shit. But thank you guys for sticking with us and doing it and being in the chat. The chat is fucking awesome. We love you guys. Yeah, we'll see you in the morning.
One day you'll be joining us over on Volume in the chat.
The chat is moving to Volume. We're all moving. Pack up the shit. We're going. But this was awesome. Jay Lane is cool. Jay Lane is pretty fucking cool. He's very cool. See you guys.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.